Good evening. My name is Carrie McGinnis, and I have the privilege of serving as the Murray State University Director of Alumni Relations. On behalf of the Office of Alumni Relations, Murray State University, and the Murray State University Alumni Association, I'd like to thank you for joining us virtually this evening for the 2021 Distinguished Alumni Awards. I certainly wish we could be together in person. I wish I could see your faces and do something we really took for granted prior to March of 2020, shake your hand, or even hug your neck. You know, a pandemic is terribly difficult for those of us who are huggers. But more importantly, I wish you could be on campus to personally congratulate tonight's special guests, the 2020 and 2021 Murray State University Distinguished Alumni and Distinguished Young Alumni on their vast personal and professional accomplishments. Before we introduce tonight's honored guests, I'd like to invite Murray State University President, 1985 Murray State alumnus, and a former president of the Murray State University Alumni Association, Dr. Bob Jackson, to bring welcome on behalf of the university.
It is my honor to congratulate Murray State University's 2020 and 2021 Distinguished Alumni Award recipients. Our 2020 Distinguished Alumni and Guest of Honor tonight include Captain Stephen Blivin, Dr. Denise Rutherford, Janet Lomax-Smith, Professor Bob Valentine in honor of his longtime friend and posthumously award winner, Doc McGahee, and our inaugural Distinguished Young Alumnus honoree, Rebecca Balard. Our 2021 Distinguished Alumni and Guest of Honor this evening include Dr. Melissa Collins, Dr. Bonnie Higginson, Judge Alan Stout, and 2021 Distinguished Young Alumnus honoree, Dr. Samantha Irwin. While we are unable to celebrate the Murray State University Alumni Association's highest honor in person tonight, I feel certain that our distinguished alumni watching along with us are feeling the love of the family, friends, and classmates who are celebrating with them in spirit. Campus life at Murray State has undergone significant changes since many of our honorees were students, but none quite like what we've experienced over the course of the past year. 13 months to be exact. We have faced re-envisioning everything, from the move-in process, to academic instruction, to dining services, to Greek life, to athletics, to extracurricular activities, and the list goes on. And our faculty, staff, students, and families did a tremendous job adjusting in spite of the challenges. It may not have been the academic year that we or our students planned for, but I think we will all look back decades from now and realize that just as it has been for nearly 100 years, this year's campus experience will help define who these students are and will become in the years ahead. We know that our students, incoming racers, and their families have a strong desire for campus life to return to normal. As we look forward to summer and fall, I'm optimistic that the activities and traditions that we love, such as this one, will return to normal. As I say often, our best days are ahead of us. Each year, the Distinguished Alumni Ceremony provides a chance for us to reflect on our treasured Murray State memories and the moments during our own campus experiences that help shape who we are and where we are today. As an alumnus of this university and former president of the Murray State University Alumni Association Board of Governors, I know the value of this honor and the level of excellence required to achieve such a designation. You have all distinguished yourselves among our more than 70,000 alumni, and on behalf of myself and my wife Karen, our fellow alumni all over the world, and Murray State University overall, I extend to you our heartfelt congratulations on receiving this distinguished honor. I look forward to seeing you in person in the months ahead so I can shake your hand and congratulate you properly. Again, congratulations and go Racers.
Thank you, Dr. Jackson. The Murray State University Alumni Association is led by an 18-member volunteer board. Our current board includes members from throughout the state of Kentucky and 4 other surrounding states. Tab Brockman of Hopkinsville, Kentucky, a 1981 graduate of Murray State, serves as the president of the MSUAA Board of Governors. Tab is the quintessential racer. He met his wife, Beth, at Murray State. Both of their sons, Tyler and Casey, played football for Murray State, and now they are busy indoctrinating their grandchildren into the blue and gold way of life. I'd like to invite Tab to bring welcome and acknowledgments on behalf of the Alumni Association.
Hello, Murray State alumni. This is Tab Brockman. I'm the president of the Murray State University Alumni Association Board of Governors. It's been a great experience serving in that role. And one of the great things that I have the honor of doing is welcoming you all to a special weekend at Murray State University. It's the weekend when we get to recognize our distinguished alumni. We know what a special place Murray State University is, and it has certainly turned out a tremendous amount of talented alumni who serve in various capacities all across the country and indeed all across the world. This weekend we'll be celebrating the best of the best, from education to finance to military, just throughout the globe. Murray State University alumni are distinguishing themselves. We want to again ask you to take in all of the videos of this weekend, enjoy them, enjoy folks that you know. I happen to know a number of our distinguished alumni this weekend. I'm proud to call them friends. More importantly, proud to call them Murray State University alumni. So enjoy the weekend and go Racers.
Thanks, Tab. The Distinguished Alumni Award is the highest honor the Alumni Association bestows upon an alumna or alumnus of Murray State. You are now a part of a very small, very special club. As of this day, there are now only 138 recipients of the Distinguished Alumni Award, over 5 decades, out of a pool of nearly 75,000 alumni. You have indeed distinguished yourselves among your peers and made an incredible impact at the local, state, and national level. Tonight, we honor the distinguished alumni of 2020 and 2021. We'll begin with our 2020 recipients. Captain Stephen Blivin, a native of Murray, retired as the Deputy Medical Director of the U.S. Marine Corps in 2020. He graduated with a Bachelor of Science in Engineering Physics in 1986, and while a student at Murray State in 1984, he was selected by the Director of Naval Nuclear Programs for the U.S. Navy Nuclear Propulsion Officer Candidate Program. He served aboard 2 fast-attack nuclear-powered submarines. Throughout his nearly 36-year military career, Captain Blivin has been honored with numerous Legion of Merit medals and other commendations. In his role as Deputy Medical Officer, he oversaw medical quality and safety for over 9,000 medical staff members. Serving over 186,000 sailors and Marines, he served in medical leadership with the Marine Corps internationally on multiple occasions, including stints in Okinawa, Japan, as the officer in charge of the Corps Sports Medicine and Reconditioning Team System, and in Southeast Asia, where he provided support and medical aid following the tragic 2004 tsunami. He also served as the commanding officer of the U.S. Naval Hospital in Naples, Italy, the largest naval hospital in Europe. A proud brother of Sigma Chi, Steve was honored as a significant SIG in 2019 by the fraternity's national organization. Welcome, Captain Stephen Blivin.
Good evening to my friends and family, the friends and family of tonight's fellow honored alumni, and to Murray State staff and faculty present tonight. My name is Steve Blivin, and I'm a proud 1986 engineering physics graduate and proud brother of Sigma Chi fraternity. I'm honored and humbled for receiving the Distinguished Alumnus Award, especially considering those who are honored with me tonight and in the past. I'd like to give thanks to those who helped me along the way, focused on my time at Murray State. I wish I knew who was in attendance tonight so I could thank you individually by name and maybe tell a story, but perhaps it's better we don't do that. First, I owe thanks to God, who blessed me with relationships with wonderful people who helped me every step of the way. My mom and dad moved our family to Murray in 1975. Of course, my mom and dad had a huge impact on me. But one reason they chose Murray was because of the university. My mom and dad didn't graduate from college, but my older brother Dave and my older sister Barb both graduated from Murray State and showed me how to work to pay for school, make great grades, and have fun with a rich curricular activity life. Perhaps too much fun in some instances, but thank you, Dave and Barb. I'd like to thank a few of the faculty at Murray State. Dr. Bob Etherton, Dr. E, Mr. Bill Taylor, Mr. George Britt, Dr. Lewis Byer, and Dr. Gene Maddox. They all made a huge impact on my education and development and served as my advisors and mentors for many years. I'm thankful for the true friendship and brotherhood of the Sigma Chi fraternity at Murray State. The character-based principles represented by the White Cross of Sigma Chi served as the foundation for my development as a leader and public servant. However, I'm most thankful for the synergistic way my Murray State education and Brotherhood of Sigma Chi came together. At the same time, and same place, to bring about the best thing that ever happened to me. My Murray State education allowed me to be selected for the Navy's extremely competitive submarine program that caused me to travel to Boston on my way to the Naval Officer Candidate School in Newport, Rhode Island, June 3rd, 1986, after I'd graduated. Being a Sigma Chi in need of a place to stay, naturally I went to the MIT Sigma Chi house, where I met Paula Cammett, the woman I married September 9th, 1989. Getting emotional even on video, I apologize. My wife Paula is absolutely the best thing that ever happened to me, and made our life together filled with more blessings than I ever thought possible, even in my most grandiose dreams. Thank you, Paula. So there you have it. If it wasn't for the great education and relationships I was blessed with at Murray State, I never would have met my wife, Paula, and fallen in love and followed our three wonderful children, Davis, Paige, and Jackson. I wouldn't have been able to serve the way I was able to serve over 36 years in the Navy. So you see, the wonderful people at Murray State made everything possible. For that, I'm forever grateful. Thank you.
Congratulations, Captain Blivin, and thank you for sharing your story with us. You and Paula are both incredibly blessed. Janet Lomax-Smith earned a bachelor's degree in journalism and mass communication in 1976. She began her work in journalism as a student in the newsrooms of both WKMS-FM and MSU Channel 11 on Murray State's campus. Upon graduation, she landed an internship and then a job at Wave TV in Louisville. From there, Janet's career took her to Rochester, New York, where she spent more than 36 years on the air at WHEC-TV before retiring from the anchor desk in 2016. Her second act led her into higher education, as she was selected as the Rochester Institute of Technology, or RIT, Minette Professor for 2018 to 2019. The prestigious Frederick H. Minette Professorship brings distinguished multicultural professionals to the RIT campus to share their professional knowledge and experience. Throughout her storied broadcast career, Janet had the opportunity to interview national leaders and A-list celebrities. Among her favorites were First Lady Michelle Obama, Oprah Winfrey, and Ellen DeGeneres. She has received numerous industry and community awards, including an Edward R. Murrow Award. And she was inducted into the New York State Broadcasters Association Hall of Fame. She is currently the journalist in residence in the Division of Diversity and Inclusion at RIT. Introducing Janet Lomax-Smith.
Good evening from Rochester Institute of Technology, where I am journalist in residence with the Division of Diversity and Inclusion. This is a very special moment. I may be 825 miles away from you, but I want you to know from the bottom of my heart that my heart is in the room with you tonight. When I graduated from Murray State University in 1976, my sister gave me a mug. On it was inscribed, "The time to be happy is now." When I think about my years at Murray State University, I was happy. I was one of those students that went to class every day. Maybe my being the daughter of educators, come from a long line of educators, maybe it's something in the genes. Now, I didn't spend all of my time with my nose behind a book. I did take part in extracurricular activities. I pledged Delta Sigma Theta Sorority Incorporated. I was also a member of Alpha Epsilon Rho, the honorary society. And I was a member of the award-winning forensics team that traveled to Plattsburgh, New York for the championships. I had a wonderful experience living in Elizabeth Hall, dining in Winslow Cafeteria, and of course, you cannot forget the Hungry Bear restaurant. And my understanding is it's still standing today. I certainly hope so. But I enjoyed my time at Murray State University. This is where I found myself. I spent a lot of time at MSU Channel 11 in the studios there. I'm very thankful for the professors that took time to work with me and mentor me. Dr. McGahee, of course, Dr. Wilcox, just to name a few. But I wanted to really just take a moment to say thank you. Thank you to the Murray State University Alumni Association for this most distinguished award. I'd like to congratulate the other honorees tonight, and I want you to remember that inscription on that cup: the time to be happy is now. I certainly am, and Murray State University will always be in my heart. Thank you again for the award, and Carrie McGinnis, I want you to send me some pictures.
Thank you, Janet, and congratulations. Dr. Bob McGahee of Murray, known to many as simply Doc, is being honored posthumously tonight after his sudden passing in June of 2019. Doc first came to Murray State in 1961, and he served in the university's ROTC program, participated in athletics, and served on the staff of the Murray State News before graduating as an ROTC honor graduate in 1965. He went on to become the first master's degree graduate from Murray State's journalism graduate program, and later earned his doctorate in mass communications from Ohio University. He also served in the U.S. Army, including a tour in Vietnam, and 18 years with Kentucky's 100th Army Reserve Division. McGahee returned to Murray State as a member of the faculty and an advisor for the Murray State News in 1969, and became the department chair in 1974, a role he held for 23 years. Not only was he a beloved and highly effective member of Murray State's faculty and campus community for decades, his impact on the greater journalism community was felt throughout the state and the nation, recognized through countless awards and by his selection to serve in leadership roles for numerous industry boards and organizations. Doc was a friend to many and a friend to me. I and so many others miss him every day, but probably no more so than his very dear friend and partner in crime, Professor Bob Valentine. By the way, most of those crimes could never have been proven. Joining us with a personal remembrance of Doc, welcome, Professor Bob Valentine.
Thank you, Carrie. Ladies and gentlemen, at occasions of this nature, it is expected that the honoree will accept the accolades and return thanks for the recognition while paying respects to those who made it all possible. Well, tonight, Bob McGahee will not be doing that. He is far too busy playing golf with Gene Garfield, or explaining equine handicapping to the angels, or cracking up the 12 apostles at their weekly luncheon with tales of his students, his experiences, and a few things which never really happened, but they're very funny nonetheless. Instead, I am here in the office which he occupied for nearly a quarter of a century as he built the journalism and mass communication program at Murray State University. I am here to offer his thanks for the honor which would please him more than any of the distinctions he has received. This one means the most. He would thank, of course, his parents. Bob was a journalist, first and foremost, and he followed in his father's footsteps, a writer, a newspaperman, and radio reporter. From his mother, he learned reverence for women and a regard for the feelings of others. And from his family, he learned respect for history and traditions, and he was well anchored in his life. But since 1961, he was a Murray State man. He lived in the newsroom as a student, and he was a student of distinction, a leader. He was a fraternity man and a proud Pi Kappa Alpha. He played sports, joined the ROTC. He was an example to others. And except for his time on active duty in the Army and his tour of Vietnam, and his brief visit to Ohio University for his doctorate, he was in Murray, and he was on campus. He learned his trade from L.J. Horton, the chief, and from Dr. Ray Mofield, Radio Ray, a man internationally famous in his field. Dwayne McIntosh helped him hone his public information skills, and Kentucky's 100th Division let him practice his craft for 20 years before he retired from the Army Reserves. He would thank them, as he would thank his graduating class from Hopkinsville High for keeping him grounded. He would thank any number of secretaries and administrative assistants around campus for keeping him on schedule and bailing him out of tight places where the truth wouldn't have mattered anyway. And he would thank the students and his colleagues who made it all worthwhile. From his closest golfing friends to groups of students who came and went, he loved them all. Whether they knew it or not, he grouped them and gave them private names. He nicknamed everybody. And he treasured the memories. Memories of the Pikes, the A.O. Pies, the Lizzo RC, the Who's Who Committee, Pete parties, the Planet Claire, the circus, the oven, the fourth floor, the newsroom, the Romeos. And after all these years, still his favorite, the family. They made him work, and they made him laugh. They gave him people to help and people of whom he could be proud, just as he is proud of Janet Lomax tonight. He told an interviewer on the occasion of his retirement, one of his retirements, he had several, you know. He wished most that when folks remembered him, they would say, he helped. Well, he did. But Murray State helped him too. Helped him to fulfill his wish to make people laugh, to help people learn, to find the truth, to tell it accurately, and to help one another. He was a man of the university, this university. And tonight he would say to the university with powerful sincerity, thank you. And then he would tell the university a joke, and you would laugh, and he would smile.
Thank you, Professor Valentine. He truly was one of a kind, and it's a great regret of mine that we didn't get the opportunity to honor him with the Distinguished Alumni Award prior to his death. My sides can hurt right now just thinking about the stories and laughter he would have shared with us this evening. Dr. Denise Rutherford was a graduate of Callaway County High School in Murray. She earned a bachelor's degree in chemistry and mathematics in 1984 and a master's in chemistry in 1985 from Murray State University, before going on to earn her doctorate in chemistry from Colorado State University in 1989. Dr. Rutherford serves as the Senior Vice President of Corporate Affairs for 3M Company in St. Paul, Minnesota. And in her 30-year career at 3M, she's held a wide variety of positions. She started as a senior research chemist in corporate research, working on biodegradable plastics. In 1995, Denise joined the ranks of technical management, where she led teams working on new products for electronics and industrial markets. She moved into business management in 2004 with an assignment as managing director of 3M Belgium and subsequently led 3M's aerospace business from 2008 to 2013. Rutherford has enjoyed several other international leadership positions at 3M, including Vice President of the Latin America area and serving as the first female president of 3M China and president of 3M Japan. In 2019, Denise was appointed to her current role, where she leads global teams working in communications, design, brand, public affairs, and sustainability. Throughout her career, Denise has been an advocate for science, technology, engineering and mathematics, education, and gender equality, speaking on these topics around the world. She has enjoyed returning to Murray State several times to visit with chemistry students and faculty, embracing the opportunity to engage with students on careers in the industry. Welcome, 2020 Distinguished Alumna, Dr. Denise Rutherford.
Hello, everyone. It's a pleasure to celebrate with all of you today, although it would be much more fun to be in person. To be recognized by my alma mater as a distinguished alumna is indeed a special honor. Thank you very much. I truly appreciate this recognition. I'd like to offer my congratulations to the other awardees for 2020 and 2021 as well. The accomplishments of this group are a testament to a strong institution and its educators, and proof to all of us that hard work and dedication lead to success. My family moved to the Murray area when I was 12 years old. I attended Callaway County schools, and during high school, we regularly came to the Murray State campus for academic competitions or to use the sports facilities. Having driven through and around the campus all those years made Murray State a natural place to continue my education. Neither of my parents went to college, but they assumed that I would, and their implicit support was very important. I always enjoyed science. I used to browse encyclopedias and took every science course I could in high school. My high school chemistry teacher, Yvette Pyle, was a key influence, and I enjoyed her classes so much that I decided chemistry was the thing for me. I felt right at home, very welcome in the Murray State Chemistry Department. The old Blackburn Science Building had a certain charm, and campus felt like a strong, supportive environment. I owe so much to the professors who took an interest in supporting my education and development. Dr. Howell Clark, who taught inorganic chemistry, was my advisor, and we had many important conversations about education and life in his office. I treasure the relationship that Dr. C and I have maintained all these years through our correspondence and occasional in-person visits. In his letters, Dr. C continues to encourage me and make me smile with stories about life as a retired professor turned farmer and cat watcher. Dr. Oliver Musio invited me to do undergraduate research in his group during my junior year, rescuing me from the chemistry stockroom. Thank you, Dr. Musio. He also told me about the 5-year BS-MS program. I enrolled in that and graduated 4 years with a BS double major in chemistry and math, and 1 year later earned my master's degree in chemistry. At the advice and encouragement of Drs. Musio and Clark, as well as another professor, Dr. Arlene Courtney, I decided to continue my learning journey. I went to Colorado State University and received my PhD in chemistry 4 years later. It was now time, as my dad said, to get a real job. I chose a position at 3M in Minnesota because I like the people, the company's culture, and the diversity of research and technologies. I've been there ever since. At 3M, we do really cool work and have a vision about using science to improve lives. You may not always see our technology, but you are never far away from the impact it is making in daily life. Here are a couple examples. Our adhesives are probably inside your smartphone, making it stronger, lighter, and more durable. We design adhesives strong enough to hold together large structures like airplanes, cars, and skyscrapers, and others gentle enough for human skin for medical tapes and dressings. And of course, our adhesives are found in the 3M products you are most familiar with, like Post-it notes, Scotch Magic tape, and command strips. That's just a few of our 55,000 products, serving many markets and geographies. In my nearly 32 years at 3M, I've held positions all around the world. My first job was as a senior research chemist working on biodegradable materials. And then I worked in research on materials for electronic devices. I moved into technical management, then to business roles, including several in our international operations, and now lead our corporate affairs group. I enjoyed these many challenges, especially leading 3M Aerospace, one of our more technical businesses, and working in Latin America. And we all enjoyed the international assignments, which allowed me and my family to live in Belgium, China, and Japan. It was an amazing experience to be the first female president of 3M China and then 3M Japan. These many roles and life experiences have given me a broad perspective. Being the new person, the one who's not from here, has helped me and my family appreciate how important it is to be tolerant and kind and be inclusive. It can bring out the best in others in our workplaces and communities. I've learned about differences in leadership styles and the challenges people face in developing their careers all around the world. In each one of my assignments, I've worked to advocate for STEM education and for enhancing diversity and inclusion. We are making progress through increased understanding, partnership, and persistence. I went back to campus 2 years ago, and it was great to see the investments in STEM education happening at Murray State. It was also really energizing to engage with many of the chemistry students during a Monday seminar presentation and discussion. I've had the good fortune of building a great career and a wonderful family with my husband and 2 young adult children. I've been well supported by mentors and supervisors who encourage me, from my parents, family, high school teachers, professors at Murray State and at Colorado State, to supervisors at 3M, to friends and colleagues who encouraged me to lean in when I wasn't sure I had what it took. Thank you. The journey started at Murray State, and for me, it will always be a special place that opened doors. I was able to learn, dream, play, and work hard. 5 years that enabled me to begin to find my way in the world. Thank you once again for the honor and recognition as a 2020 Murray State University Distinguished Alumna, and for this opportunity to be with you today. Go Racers!
Thank you, Dr. Rutherford. Now on to this year's Distinguished Alumni recipients. Dr. Melissa Collins came to Murray State to play for the Racer women's basketball team. She completed her bachelor's degree in 1999 in elementary education before going on to earn a master's degree and a doctorate from the University of Southern Mississippi. Dr. Collins has been employed by Shelby County Schools in Memphis, Tennessee for 21 years and currently teaches 2nd grade at John P. Freeman Optional School. Melissa has a passion for STEM instruction and teacher leadership, and her work has been recognized more than once on the national stage. She was awarded the Presidential Award for Excellence in Mathematics and Science Teaching by President Obama in 2008. And she was a finalist for Tennessee Teacher of the Year and the Global Teacher Prize. In addition, she is a National Board Certified Teacher and a founder of the National Board Network of Accomplished Minority Educators. She has won countless awards, including Murray State University's College of Education and Human Services Outstanding Alumni Award in 2009. 2021 Distinguished Alumni recipient Dr. Melissa Collins joins us tonight from where else but the classroom.
Greetings, everyone. I am so grateful to have been selected to receive the 2021 Murray State University Distinguished Alumni Award. It is such a wonderful honor to be recognized by your college. This is truly a dream come true. First, I would like to thank God for always keeping me in His loving arms. I want to thank my parents because they were my first teachers. They always pushed and encouraged me to do my very best. Thanks to my son, Devon, I truly love you, and you make my heart smile. Thank you to my sisters, families, and friends for being here to share in this special occasion. Thank you also to my mentors, principals, John P. Freeman family, colleagues in Shelby County School District, for allowing me to follow my passion of teaching and inspiring students each day. In addition, congratulations to all the other awardees. Continue to be an inspiration and beacon of hope to others. I'm so honored to have my work recognized in this way by Murray State University. I have many joyous occasions at Murray State University, and I enjoyed representing my college by playing on the women's basketball team, being an elementary education major, and joining my beloved sorority, Delta Sigma Theta. During my time at Murray State, I learned about networking and collaborating with others. The education department also helped me to instill a love for student learning and the importance of leading in the educational profession. They equipped me with the knowledge, skills, and disposition to develop into an accomplished educator. Again, I want to say thank you to this committee for recognizing me as an educator and other awardees as well. Thank you to the College of Education, Racer Athletic Department, and Delta Sigma Theta for your guidance and your support during my time at Murray State University. I am a racer for life. I will continue to be an advocate for teachers, students, and educational issues around the world. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Collins, and congratulations. Dr. Bonnie Higginson is a Murray native and graduated from Murray High. While a student at Murray State, Dr. Higginson was involved on campus in student activities and joined Alpha Omicron Pi, eventually serving as president. Bonnie completed her bachelor's degree in rehabilitation in 1975, a master's in human development and leadership in 1978, and a specialist in college teaching in reading and higher education in 1979. All from Murray State University. She earned her Doctor of Philosophy in 1985 from the University of Georgia and returned to Murray State as the coordinator of reading and study skills in the Learning Center, and then as interim director of the Bachelor of Interdisciplinary Studies degree program, before joining the College of Education as a faculty member. During her career at Murray State, Bonnie served as an assistant professor, associate professor, and professor, as chair of the Department of Elementary and Secondary Education, college head for White Residential College, associate provost, and as the first female provost and vice president for academic affairs. Even retirement in 2013 couldn't keep her away. That's when she began her service as professor emeritus. She was honored with the Murray State University Distinguished Professor Award in 2000. Bonnie is credited with creating the Belize International Teaching Experience at Murray State, which allows student teachers to complete their educational hours in the small Central American country. In order to help future racers experience the richness of international study, she and her husband, Cliff, established the Cliff and Bonnie Higginson Study Abroad Scholarship. Introducing Dr. Bonnie Higginson.
Murray State University has been a part of my life for as long as I can remember. My grandmother worked on campus when I was a little girl, back when local people referred to MSU simply as the college. My mother began working on campus when I was around 13 and worked in graduate admissions for over 20 years. When I began taking classes at MSU in the summer of 1972, just weeks after graduating from Murray High School, I was confused about my career path, but quite certain that I would leave Murray within a few years. I wanted to go far, to join the Peace Corps, become a flight attendant, or be an interpreter for the United Nations, even though I didn't speak a second language. I wanted to interact and work with people from all over the country and the world. Well, my undergraduate academic career wasn't spectacular, but I earned decent grades and had a great deal of fun. I lived on campus, and my membership in Alpha Omicron Pi sorority allowed me to feel fully engaged in campus life. I loved participating in traditional events such as All Campus Sing and the Lambda Chi Alpha Watermelon Bust. Two life-changing things happened during my undergraduate years. First, I met Cliff Higginson, and we began dating my sophomore year. We will celebrate our 45th wedding anniversary this year, and our journey together has been absolutely wonderful. Second, at some point, I began to realize that I loved being on a college campus and that I didn't want to leave. So I hung around and kept taking classes until I was hired to teach reading and study skills to underprepared college students. I found that I loved teaching, and I became very interested in literacy issues faced by adolescents and young adults. So I decided to pursue a PhD at the University of Georgia and was able to complete it in 1985. Soon after, I became a faculty member in the College of Education and taught undergraduate and graduate literacy courses. I grew as a teacher and thoroughly enjoyed my work with students. Through the years, I had the pleasure of working with so many wonderful people who demonstrated passion for MSU every single day. I want to mention a few of the folks who really made a difference for me. The late Dr. Yancey Watkins. He was my teacher, mentor, and friend, and the person who coached me through every single career change. Gary Brockway, Randy Dunn, and the late Jan Weaver, who were wonderful administrators who opened doors for me to take on leadership roles. Don Robertson, the best vice president of student affairs in the country, encouraged me to become a residential college head. My 7 years as head of White College were fantastic. I loved working with students outside of the classroom. Lastly, Dave Whaley, a relative newcomer to Murray State, who welcomed me back to the College of Education and Human Services upon my retirement as provost. He has been incredibly kind and supportive. So that 17-year-old girl who wanted to see the world ended up with a 49-year relationship with Murray State, less than 1 mile from where she graduated from high school. But Murray State gave me the world, the opportunity to meet and work with students, faculty, and staff from everywhere, the chance to teach, lead study abroad programs, and serve in several leadership roles. I cannot imagine a more fulfilling and exciting career. It's really an honor to share the spotlight with Alan Stout and Melissa Collins. Both are so accomplished, and I'm humbled to be with them. I'm so grateful to the Alumni Office and to all of the friends and family members who have been so supportive to me throughout the years. Lastly, thank you, Murray State. You are most certainly the finest place I know.
Thank you, Bonnie, and congratulations. Judge Alan Stout entered Murray State in the fall of 1974, majoring in radio and television with a minor in political science. During his time on campus, Judge Stout worked in the school relations office under Director Phil Bryan and was very active in his fraternity, Alpha Tau Omega. He enjoyed participating in campus activities as well. He and several other Alpha Tau Omega alumni established a scholarship fund for the fraternity to benefit current and future ATO students. One of his biggest role models while in school just happened to be Dr. Bob McGahee, honored earlier this evening. After graduation, Alan went on to law school at the Chase College of Law at Northern Kentucky University and graduated in 1981. He established a successful law practice in his hometown of Marion, Kentucky, and later expanded to Paducah. After 30 years of practicing law, he was appointed as a federal bankruptcy judge in 2011. As an alumnus, he served on the Murray State Board of Regents from 2004 to 2010, and as chair of that board from 2007 to 2010. He also served as the president of the MSUAA from 2005 to 2006. While he has accomplished much in his career, Judge Stout will tell you that his greatest accomplishment is marrying Doris, his wife of 37 years, and raising 3 children, all of whom graduated from Murray State. He and his wife now go by Grammy and Pappy to their 7 grandchildren. Introducing Judge Alan Stout.
First of all, I want to express my appreciation to the Murray State Alumni Association for this honor and all the good work they do. I'm very humbled. I can't think of the Alumni Association without remembering my friend Jimmy Carter. I graduated in 1978 with a degree in radio, television, production, and a minor in political science, so I thought it was very appropriate to record these remarks here in the very TV studio that I spent many hours in as a student over 40 years ago. I'm very blessed to have had great professors at Murray State. Dr. Bob Howard in radio, Ray Mofield in the radio TV department, Dr. McGahee and Bob Valentine in journalism, and Gene Garfield and Farouk Umar in political science, to name a few. Some of them are no longer with us. After graduation, I became very close friends with many of them. Indeed, I met up with Garfield, McGahee, and Dennis Johnson a few years ago at Churchill Downs, and Doc tutored my son Logan on how to study a racing form and other subtleties of pari-mutuel wagering. One of the highlights as a student was working in the school relations office for Phil Bryan. We had a great crew with Pete Lancaster, Dave Franklin, Jackie Hayes, as well as many others. Once I was giving a campus tour to a couple from Columbus, Ohio, and their daughter, and I pointed out our new football stadium, Roy Stewart Stadium, to them, and the father asked, "Where's the other half?" Frankly, I never have really cared for the design of that stadium. As a student, I was, and still remain, an active member of Alpha Tau Omega. Brothers Jeff Taylor, Charlie Bryant, and Dave Long left a strong impression on our Alpha Eta Pledge class, and still keep in close contact with many of my brothers, and I look forward to when Billy Joe Rayburn can once again schedule our Friday afternoon old guys lunches. Brothers Robbie Rudolph, Dwayne Taylor, Gene Ray, and me endowed the ATO Scholarship Fund about 10 years ago, and to date, over 50 student brothers have received support. As an alumnus, I've tried to remain involved and committed to Murray. I enjoy my service on the Board of Trustees of the Murray State Foundation with the other dedicated individuals I serve. Previously, I served 6 years on the Board of Regents and served 3 years as chair. During that time, we hired Randy Dunn as president. Dr. Dunn was a strong leader. Just as your current president, Dr. Bob Jackson, is a strong leader. During my time as chair, I'm proud of the fact that we were very transparent, as we were for the first time started broadcasting the Board of Regent meetings live on the internet. Also, I chaired the Paducah Campus Task Force that ultimately led to the purchase and construction of the new Paducah campus that sits off I-24. On the athletics side of things, we successfully navigated an NCAA audit and beat Vanderbilt in the first round of the NCAA tournament. But I'm most proud of the fact that at my urging and under the leadership of Athletic Director Alan Ward, we put in place the first girls softball team, which remains very successful today. Up until that time, Murray was the only OVC school that did not have a girls softball team. I was honored to throw out the ceremonial first pitch at the very first MSU softball game. I'm also humbled to be included in the company of the previous recipients of this award. I know many of them. In fact, the second recipient, Dr. Forrest Carlisle Pogue, for whom the Pogue Library is named, is a fellow Crittenden County native. I knew him well and was related to him by marriage. Coincidentally, another recipient, Judge Jerry Brown in New Orleans, is also from Crittenden County, and we have the distinction of being the 2 federal judges who are recipients. Other previous recipients are great friends of mine, including Tim Miller, Joe Owens, Bill Cunningham, Steve Pallas, Jerry Schroet, and Amy Watson, to name a few. My parents were Howard and Imogene Stout. Howard was a heavy equipment operator, and Mom was a housewife. My brother Keith and I are the first generation of our family to graduate from college. I've been blessed to have been married to my wife, Doris, for over 37 years, and thank you to Doris for supporting me and putting up with my dreams and schemes through 30 years of practicing law and now for 9 years as a federal bankruptcy judge. We have been blessed with 3 children, and all 3, I'm very proud, are Murray State graduates, and 2 of the 3 spouses are alumni as well. Our daughter Katie Cunningham and her husband Corey, our son Logan, and his wife Stevie are all racers. Our oldest daughter, Erica Darcinos, is an alumnus and is married to Sam Darcinos. Now, Sam is not a graduate of Murray. Poor Sam. He graduated from a college in Knoxville with the most putrid color of orange, and the only thing that's more obnoxious is the fight song. We've been very blessed with 7 grandkids, and Doris and I regard our role as Grammy and Pappy as our most important roles. I've been blessed that Murray State has been a part of my life, but more than that, I'm blessed to put my faith in God and accept Jesus Christ as my Lord and Savior. Thank you. One final postscript. As a former broadcaster, I would like to acknowledge Neil Bradley and Kenny Roth and the crew that has provided great access to see Racers games on the ESPN Plus platform, especially through the pandemic when attendance was restricted. And as to Neil Bradley, I put him right up there with the legendary broadcasters such as Jack Buck and Kaywood Ledford. Thank you.
Congratulations, Judge Stout. And now, on to something new. The Distinguished Young Alumni Award. Created and sponsored by the Young Alumni Council of the MSUAA, the Distinguished Young Alumni Award was established just before the pandemic in 2019. So what is considered young, you ask? Well, let's just say that I no longer qualify. Young alumni are graduates of the last 10 years and those who are under the age of 40. In order to highlight and celebrate their early career accomplishments, our relatively recent grads, the Young Alumni Council created the annual Top 22 Under 40 list. 22 is, of course, a nod to our founding in 1922 and honors nearly 100 years of amazing alumni accomplishments. Those selected for the Top 22 Under 40 represent a diverse class of racers who are wasting no time in making a name for themselves. From that list each year, the Young Alumni Council will select the Distinguished Young Alumni recipient. Our first ever awardee is 2020 recipient Rebecca Balard. Rebecca was a presidential scholar at Murray State and graduated with an honors degree in public relations in 2002. She went on to earn a Master of Arts with distinction in public communication from American University in Washington, D.C. Rebecca began her career in the nation's capital at Public Strategies, a business advisory firm specializing in public affairs, crisis management, and public opinion research. In 2011, Public Strategies merged with Hill & Knowlton Strategies, a global communications consultancy and public relations network. Rebecca took on a series of roles leading communications for the agency and developing its people and culture, including head of communication and culture for the H&K US and founder and executive director for the firm's women's network. For her contributions to the industry, Rebecca has been named to the PR Week 40 Under 40 class in 2014, a Diversity in PR Individual of the Year by PR News in 2016, and co-chair of the PRC Next Board of Next Generation Industry Leaders by the PR Council in 2018. In 2020, she made the move to Purple Strategies, a leading corporate reputation strategy firm, as managing director for communications, marketing, and engagement. Introducing the inaugural Distinguished Young Alumna, Rebecca Balard.
I've had a whole extra year to think on it, and I still don't have adequate words to describe what it means to have been chosen as the first recipient of this honor. The Murray State community has gifted me some of the most important people and experiences of my life. I'm grateful and I'm humbled, and I thank the Murray State University Alumni Association from the bottom of my racer heart for this recognition. I also want to add my congratulations to all of the distinguished alumni being honored today. To a person, they are inspiring and further proof that racers are extraordinary wherever they roam. One especially sweet part of this experience is being in a class alongside one of my dearest professors, Doc McGahey, a true Murray State treasure. I wish he were here now to delight us with some of his famous stories. I've been thinking a lot about stories leading up to today. It strikes me that all of the people I've met in my post-Murray life have stories from college. But it's rare to see them consider their college to be truly part of their story the same way we do at Murray State. I suspect that's something all of us gathered today have in common, that our university is a sincerely meaningful part of the stories of our lives, not as a setting or as a footnote, but as a central character, right alongside the cast of characters we each found at Murray State, priceless in the way they've shaped us today. What that looked like for me, not all that long ago in the grand scheme of things, was spirited debates with the members of the Honors College, which were great preparation for defending my position in a boardroom, service in the Student Government Association, on the Campus Activities Board, and as a senator, which gave me early appreciation for the guts it takes to step forward for elected or appointed office, or to devote your life to service, and how important it is that good people continue to do so. Being entrusted with leadership by my beloved Alpha Gams and the broader sisterhood of collegiate women, which shaped my passion for supporting and empowering women and girls. And putting on my smile in blue and gold for countless summer O sessions, student ambassador assignments, school relations shifts, and campus tours, which set me on a professional path focused on making sure people feel connection, engagement, and belonging. We all have our own Murray State stories like these, and I'm beyond grateful for each and every racer and honorary racer who has been a part of mine, especially my professors and advisors, particularly from the Journalism and Mass Communications Department and the Honors College, my Alpha Gamma Delta and Panhellenic sisters and advisors, my very dear friends who loved Murray State so much they've built their careers with the university, and my family and friends, a bunch of whom are celebrating with us today. I want to give extra gratitude for my wonderful husband and racer soulmate of 20 years, Daniel, for his unending support, and my racers in training, the greatest kids I could have hoped for, Harper and Garrison, who wear their racer gear with pride and make sure Murray State is on the map for all the people they meet here in the Washington, D.C. area where we live. Joining this broader group of distinguished alumni in the new Young Alumni category feels like an honor and also a meaningful challenge. to spend the extra chapters ahead in my story trying to become more worthy of this recognition. And my promise to all my fellow racers is that I will do just that. Thank you.
Congratulations, Rebecca, and thank you. I know Doc is smiling down seeing some of his JMC students find such great success. The 2021 Distinguished Young Alumni recipient is Dr. Samantha Irwin. Dr. Irwin graduated with a degree in mathematics in 2011. During her time at Murray State, she served as captain of the equestrian team for 3 years, and Samantha still actively competes and has remained one of the top-ranked amateur riders in the country for the past 4 years. After graduating from Murray State, she received her master's and her doctoral degrees in mathematics from Virginia Tech, with her thesis titled Mathematical Models of Immune Responses to Infectious Diseases. While at Virginia Tech, she served as the vice president of the Graduate Student Assembly and founded a student chapter for the Association for Women in Mathematics. Samantha held a postdoctoral position at North Carolina State University, where she developed mathematical models of antibiotic-resistant pathogens. Then in 2019, Dr. Irwin was hired as a research scientist at Oak Ridge National Laboratory. When the COVID-19 pandemic hit, you can imagine her previous research and study proved highly useful. The focus of her job shifted to researching how the coronavirus spreads and the effect of intervention policy measures. Congratulations to Dr. Samantha Irwin.
Thank you so much to the Murray State University Alumni Association for recognizing me as the Distinguished Young Alumna of 2021. I cherish the years I spent at Murray State. I truly believe my years here were formative in shaping my career so far. While I was at Murray, I was part of the Hester Residential College, and I had the opportunity to form friendships that are still part of my life today. The faculty at Murray were supportive in helping me shape my career and encouraging me to dream bigger than I ever thought possible. While I started at Murray as a nursing major, I quickly learned that nursing was not my calling, and the folks at the math department provided me a supportive environment as I found my way into math. While studying math, I started learning about undergraduate research in the Biology and Mathematics Population Studies program. I worked with Dr. Maeve McCarthy and Dr. Kate He, and they were formative in helping me not only understand how to do research, but also how to apply to graduate school, and that earning a PhD was a very attainable goal. I cannot thank them enough for where I am today. With them, alongside Dr. Erin Huckabee, I was able to travel to scientific conferences and publish my first research paper. During my research with Erin, who was then an undergraduate, we learned a lot about failures and challenges. At one point, we were studying an invasive plant species, and we hypothesized a worm was damaging the leaves during our measurements. At any rate, we convinced the faculty we needed to set worms loose in the greenhouse. Long story short, they ate everything but our invasive plants. Thankfully, no major harm was done, but this is just one example of times I learned about the importance of overcoming failures and challenges. Not only did my time here set the foundation for becoming a scientific researcher, I spent time with the Murray State equestrian team and developed my horsemanship skills and passion for my horse hobby. Coaches Sue Robinson and Don Delaney taught me how to become a better horseman. They also gave me the opportunity to hone in on my leadership skills as co-captain with my friend Rachel Neff, whom I want to thank for nominating me for this award. I am grateful to be able to provide a retirement home for a former Murray State equestrian team horse. I am so thankful to have the opportunity to give back to my alma mater. And in my current role as a research scientist at Oak Ridge National Laboratory, I was able to host a student intern from Murray State, and I hope to host more in the future. None of this would be possible without my supportive parents, Terry and Randy Irwin, and my husband, Dan. I am so thankful that Murray gave me the opportunity to face challenges, grow from my failures, and provide support to persevere. The education and life skills I developed as an undergraduate have been fundamental in my success today. Thank you all for this remarkable recognition.
Congratulations, Dr. Irwin. What you are doing is truly life-saving work. So that brings our first and hopefully last virtual Distinguished Alumni Award ceremony to a close. Congratulations to each of you on this tremendous honor. You have made us proud, and we look forward to what the future holds for each and every one of you. Thank you for your tremendous contributions to your careers, your communities, and to Murray State University. Several of our awardees have opted to meet and greet with friends and family via Zoom after we wrap up here. Those who registered for one of the Zoom events should have received a link from the alumni office in your email to join. Professor Valentine is excited to spend time with those who knew and loved Doc to reminisce about the impact he had on so many. As we close, I want to thank you for joining us and ask that you visit us on campus just as soon as you feel comfortable to do so. We can't wait to see you. Thanks again, and go Racers.